Thank you for volunteering as an applicant file reviewer for ASET. The following short webinar will demonstrate how to complete a level of practice evaluation. All applicants seeking registration with ASET as a certified technician or certified engineering technologist must undergo a level of practice evaluation to assess their qualifications. Applicant documentation undergoes an initial review by ASET staff to verify that each application component is complete. Applicants are notified of any deficiencies in the application and are required to resubmit incomplete documentation. A discipline-specific subject matter expert conducts a review of the applicant's competency summary to determine whether the applicant has demonstrated the competency necessary for CTEC or CET. The SME may then recommend resubmission of the document if deficiencies are noted. The role of the file reviewer is to conduct a thorough assessment of the applicant's documentation and make a recommendation to the ASET Board of Examiners as to whether the applicant has met the requirements for CTEC or CET certification. As part of this assessment, the file reviewer also notes any recommendations related to the applicant's file and/or may request resubmission of documentation if deficiencies are noted. The level of practice evaluation completed by the file reviewer is then presented to the ASET Board of Examiners in order to make a decision on the applicant's file. In accordance with the Engineering and Geoscience Professions Act, the board may approve the applicant for registration as a CTEC or CET, reject the application if the applicant does not meet the requirements for registration, or defer the application until the applicant has demonstrated compliance with any deficient requirements. The review process involves a minimum of 2 reviewers. The competency summary and file review are not carried out by the same individual to ensure an equitable review process in line with legislative requirements. The Board of Examiners makes the final decision on all applications for certification. The following slides explain each application component submitted by applicants. Based on academic transcripts provided by the applicant, ASET staff will confirm whether the applicant is academically eligible for CTEC or CET certification. Applicants who are graduates of a 2 to 3 year technician program, any relevant technical program of less than 2 years, an apprenticeship program, or a military program are eligible for CTEC certification. Applicants who are graduates of, at a minimum, a 2-year technologist diploma program are eligible for CET certification. Applicants may demonstrate equivalency by successfully completing ASET's technologist certification exam. International applicants must submit a third-party evaluation of their academics in order to confirm eligibility for CTEC or CET certification. Once staff receive the results of this assessment, the applicant's file is updated to the appropriate certification eligibility status. Applicants who are not graduates of a technical program may submit a prior learning assessment and recognition portfolio to confirm equivalency for CTEC certification. The portfolio assessment is conducted by a subject matter expert. Once staff receive the results of this assessment, the applicant's file is updated to the appropriate certification eligibility status. All applicants must provide the following documentation with their application. These documents are verified for completion by staff. Staff also confirm that supervisory signatures have been provided where required. Applicants must provide an original or true copy of their academic transcripts or their international academic assessment, a current resume, a current job description signed by a supervisor, a competency report signed by a supervisor, and 3 work-related references. Applicants who are not Canadian citizens or permanent residents must also provide a copy of a valid work permit. Staff review the work permit to confirm that it is valid and enter the expiry date for tracking purposes. Applicants for whom English is a second language and who have not graduated from a program delivered in English must provide evidence of English language competency. This evidence is verified for completion by staff. Staff also confirm that a supervisory signature has been provided if required. Acceptable evidence includes International English Language Testing System results, or Canadian English Language Proficiency Index Program general test results, or a letter describing English language proficiency signed by a supervisor. Again, staff review documentation to verify completion. All applicants must have a minimum of 24 months of technical work experience to be eligible for CTEC or CET certification. Within that 24 months, applicants must also demonstrate a minimum of 9 months of technical work experience at the technologist level to be eligible for CET certification. Work experience is confirmed by a minimum of 3 professional references. Reference forms are sent directly to references by ASET, and staff verify these forms for completion. All applicants must demonstrate technician level or technologist level competency in order to be eligible for CTEC or CET certification. The primary method by which competency is verified is through a competency summary, in which the applicant provides written examples of the workplace application of the 6 key competencies related to his or her discipline of practice. Applicants must achieve a minimum score of 60% and demonstrate professional accountability to be eligible for CTEC or CET. The competency summary is verified for completion by staff. An ASET subject matter expert reviews the competency summary to determine if the applicant has demonstrated CTEC or CET competency. If the subject matter expert identifies any deficiencies in the competency summary, staff return the report to the applicant with a request for resubmission. All applicants must pass the ASET professional practice exam. Staff verify whether the applicant has passed the exam or whether the applicant is scheduled to write the exam. In order to maintain efficient processing times, applicants may be reviewed by the ASET Board of Examiners prior to completing the exam. In this case, the applicant can be granted certification subject to achieving a passing mark on the exam. Applicants who are graduates of a 2-year technology diploma program outside of Alberta or who must demonstrate equivalency to a 2-year technologist diploma program must pass ASET's technologist certification exam. Staff verify whether the applicant has passed the exam or whether the applicant is scheduled to write the exam. In order to maintain efficient processing times, applicants may be reviewed by the ASET Board of Examiners prior to completing the exam. In this case, the applicant can be granted certification subject to achieving a passing mark on the exam. Applicants who are not graduates of an applied science, information, or engineering technology program, or who are unable to provide academic transcripts, such as refugees, may complete a prior learning assessment and recognition portfolio to demonstrate academic equivalency to the requirements for CTEC. Applicants must describe the origin of their learning and provide supporting documentation in relation to the Canadian Technology Accreditation criteria in their discipline of practice. Applicants must achieve a minimum score of 60% to be eligible for admission as a CTEC applicant. The PLAR portfolio is verified for completion by staff. An ASET subject matter expert reviews the PLAR portfolio to determine if the applicant has demonstrated academic equivalency. If the subject matter expert identifies any deficiencies in the PLAR portfolio, staff notify the applicant and request resubmission. The following slides outline the file review process for each application component. If deficiencies are identified in relation to any of the application components, these may be noted on the level of practice evaluation form. As ASET's assessment process has shifted to a focus on competency, file reviewers need not conduct a detailed review of the applicant's academics. However, the file reviewer should confirm agreement with the staff recommendation as to whether the applicant is academically eligible for CTEC or CET certification. The assessor should note on the level of practice evaluation form if the assessor disagrees with the academic eligibility assigned by staff. Applications cannot be forwarded to a file reviewer without receipt of all required documentation. However, the file reviewer should review each document as part of the general assessment process. The file reviewer should also verify that the applicant's job description and competency report have been signed by a supervisor. Staff follow up on any documentation deficiencies identified by the file reviewer where appropriate to do so. This component will only appear to the file reviewer if the applicant is not a Canadian citizen or permanent resident. Staff review submitted work permits to confirm validity and enter the expiry date for tracking purposes. However, the file reviewer should verify that the work permit has not expired as part of the general assessment process. The assessor should then note on the level of practice evaluation form if there are any concerns with the work permit supplied. This component will only appear to the file reviewer if the applicant has not graduated from a program delivered in English. If IELTS or CELPIP-G test results have been provided, the file reviewer should verify that the applicant's test results demonstrate English language proficiency. An outline of acceptable test results is provided in the file reviewer manual. If the applicant has provided a handwritten letter outlining how he or she became competent in the English language, the file reviewer should assess whether the applicant has demonstrated an acceptable level of English language competency. The Canadian Language Benchmark Placement Test publishes a concise guide demonstrating various levels of English language proficiency. Please see the File Reviewer Manual for a link to this guide. The guide can be used to assess the applicant's letter by reviewing the use of language and description of language proficiency in the letter against the CLB descriptors. The file reviewer should also verify that the letter has been signed by the applicant's supervisor. Note on the level of practice evaluation form if there are any concerns with the applicant's English language proficiency. The file reviewer should conduct a detailed review of the applicant's references and note the results of this review on the level of practice evaluation form. The form is designed to assist the file reviewer with confirming whether the applicant has at least 24 months of technical work experience, the applicant has at least 9 months of technologist level work experience required for CET certification, the applicant has a level of responsibility appropriate for technician level or technologist level certification, the applicant has demonstrated professionalism and ethical practice in the workplace, and the applicant has demonstrated satisfactory verbal and written communication skills in the workplace. A subject matter expert will have completed a review of the applicant's competency summary and requested follow-up if any deficiencies have been identified. The file reviewer should review the applicant's competency summary and the results of the assessment to confirm agreement with the assessment results. The file reviewer may also request resubmission if required. As noted previously, applicants may be reviewed by the Board of Examiners prior to completing the ASET Professional Practice Exam. The file reviewer should confirm, however, that the applicant has completed the exam or that the applicant is scheduled to write the exam. The assessor should note on the level of practice evaluation form if there are any concerns with the exam results or scheduling. Applicants may be reviewed by the Board of Examiners prior to completing ASET's Technologist Certification Exam. The file reviewer should confirm, however, that the applicant has completed the exam or that the applicant is scheduled to write the exam. Note on the level of practice evaluation form any concerns with exam results or scheduling. A subject matter expert will have completed a review of the applicant's PLAR portfolio and requested follow-up if any deficiencies have been identified. The file reviewer should review the results of the applicant's PLAR portfolio assessment and note any concerns with the assessment on the level of practice evaluation form. For example, the applicant may have a borderline score, such as 61%, and/or the file reviewer may be concerned that the applicant has not provided a strong demonstration in relation to a particular academic benchmark. The Board of Examiners as a whole would then discuss these concerns as part of the final review of the applicant's file. The following slides outline how to complete the level of practice evaluation form. The first step is to note the applicant's name, ASET number, and discipline at the top of the form. Although the applicant information is noted on the applicant's electronic file, adding this information to the form ensures that the assessment cannot be incorrectly assigned to another applicant. The assessor should then complete all sections related to the applicant's references. As noted previously, the file reviewer should confirm whether the applicant has at least 24 months of technical work experience, at least 9 months of technologist level work experience for CET, a level of responsibility appropriate for technician level or technologist level certification, demonstration of professionalism and ethical practice in the workplace, and demonstration of verbal and written communication skills in the workplace. Next, the file reviewer should make an overall recommendation on the applicant's file by selecting either meets requirements for certification as CTEC or CET or does not meet requirements. Space is provided in the next section of the form to outline the reasons for the assessor's recommendation and to list any additional requirements recommended for the applicant. The file reviewer should provide reasons to support their recommendation and note any deficiencies identified during the assessment of the applicant's file in the Reasons for Recommendation Additional Requirements section of the form. A list of recommendation examples is provided in the File Reviewer Manual for assistance with completing this section. Some examples include: the applicant has met all the necessary application requirements for technician level certification, recommend the applicant for CTEC, or one of the applicant's references has indicated that the applicant has not demonstrated good character in the workplace, recommend follow-up with the applicant's reference to confirm this statement, or the applicant has not demonstrated CET competency within the competency report as provided, recommend requesting additional documentary evidence to support the application, or consider the applicant for CTEC certification. The final step is to sign and date the level of practice evaluation form. The file reviewer may then upload the completed form for review by ASET. ASET staff will review the evaluation to verify all necessary information is provided, and, if recommended by the file reviewer, will follow up with the applicant to obtain additional evidence of competency. The evaluation and any additional evidence of competency will then be reviewed during the full review of the applicant's file by the ASET Board of Examiners. A comprehensive manual is available for review at any time on the File Reviewer page of the ASET website. Short how-to videos also offer instructions on how to navigate the online review system. ASET staff are here to help at any time throughout the review process. If you require assistance, please contact Monica Strohecker at the contact information noted on the screen.